There's always a harvest, and thank God we have laborers. We have our student friars, who are being supported and encouraged, and they're going to take care of the harvest this year and years to come, and we are so blessed, and it's good to be a part of them, to work with them, and they bring new life, new blood, new enthusiasm to the work that we're doing, and so the harvest is great, and the laborers are few, but we have good laborers.
I was studying civil engineering at Colorado State University, and I just got to a point in my life around the time of 9/11, asking questions, really important questions about what my life is about, what I was created for, what the meaning of life was.
And for me, life is in God. And so my sense of vocation was that realization that I know what death is about, I know what unhappiness is about, I've been there, I can do that anytime I want. But I think that there's life here. And so for me it was about that. It wasn't about so much like a job or a ministry or a whatever. It was about there's life here for me.
That I was kind of away from the faith, and I read these books on our Blessed Mother and decided, to visit Medjugorje, and so I went there with my mom right after September 11th. Just had a powerful, powerful experience there of God's mercy and God's love. It's like intoxicating almost when you sense that love, and it's like, that's what I want. I don't want anything else in life, just that. I want to know that, and I want to live that, and I want to bring that to others.
My late 30s, I went through a kind of a deep conversion, and at the time I was working as a truck driver after college, and some time in the military, but that gave me a lot of time to think and read and reconnect with my faith, and what I really, really liked was the combination of contemplative prayer and living among the poor and ministry. To me, what really attracted me about the Capuchins is it was combined all of that.
I got my undergrad in computer engineering and worked for 3 years doing that. All the while I was becoming more and more involved at the student center until the priest called me one day and said, "Hey, I've got a job for you if you want it." And so it was kind of a wake-up call to me to consider my vocation again. So I went to work for him for 2 years and did work with college students and then faculty and staff at the university with retreats, classes, that kind of stuff. And then that was my last stop before I put on the Browns. It's the most important thing I feel like the Capuchins are, in a sense, is beyond what they do, beyond what we do. And that's been hard for me because I feel I'm a doer and my family, we're doers, and so being something is kind of new to me. And so being a person of prayer, being a person of faith, letting my life witness rather than letting my deeds alone witness is something that I feel like the Capuchins have taught me.
I don't think it's a coincidence that Christ called fishermen to be disciples. For me, that's one of the biggest surprises of being a friend of Christ is, there's a lot of parallels in the spiritual life to fly fishing.
That many people in the past growing up didn't face, and but I think they're all hungry for truth, just like everybody is, and And the more you talk about God's love to them and God's mercy, and that God is calling them to holiness and God's calling them to a relationship, and you still slowly start to see something come awake inside of them, and it's powerful to see that happen. And it's nothing you're doing. That God's grace is working, and that's exciting to see.
I think religious formation is tremendous human formation as well. It's a tremendous experience of growing into just being a person. Because my own kind of background, my own growing up, and my own culture has shaped me to be pretty selfish and to be self-seeking and all sorts of things. And so those things get worked out in community and in prayer and all of these things. And so I think I've grown just as a human being, just in the ability to be kind and compassionate, and find joy in the freedom of poverty, for instance, in the freedom of service, in the incredible way that God is present in so many people. So for me, I think I've grown in my appreciation of the holiness of everyday life.
What would I most like to be remembered for? Being a man of prayer and being loving towards others.
I responded to the call of Christ so that others could come to know that same love that I found in Jesus Christ.
My willingness to help anybody that asks simple or complex question, I think my generosity is something I hope can be inspiring.
That I've always tried to be honest with other people and honest with them about my own struggles. And
I think I'd like to be remembered for maybe two things. One, I'd like to be remembered as a real man, like a very real man in an unreal world sometimes, a real authentic person. And I think I would also like to be remembered as somebody who was able to show others how much they're loved by God. Because that's what it's about for us. It's not about how good we are, it's about how good God is. And God is amazingly present in a lot of people and they don't know it.
Well, today I had Mass with the student friars, the professed friars who are in various years of their training. And as I looked at them as I was celebrating the Mass and looked at them, I said, this is the future, to spread the good news and to take care of the harvest out there.
Amen.